let's make beignets. These are inspired by the Disney ones. So we're going to make Mickey shaped beignets, but of course if you don't have the cutter, you can just use a normal pizza cutter or knife. So to start off, I'm going to heat up my mixing bowl and dump out the water just so it's nice and warm. And then to this, we're going to add 3/4 cup warm water. And I like it very warm. We're going to add 1/3 cup sugar and 1.5 teaspoons yeast. We're going to mix it together and leave it until it's bubbly and frothy. Now I use a big package of yeast and I just keep it in my freezer and it will last a very long time, way past the expiration date. It's still active, but just put it in your freezer. Don't buy a big portion of this if you don't bake, because this will take a long time to use. But if you do, feel free to invest in it, get it at Costco, it's very cheap, and put it in your freezer. Okay, so it's nice and frothy. To this, we are going to add 1/2 cup milk, 3/4 teaspoon salt, and 1 beaten egg. We're just going to whisk that around. Okay, and so we're going to add in about half of the flour. You want 3.5 cups flour, but add in about half of it first. We're going to add the dough hook. Start out very slow so it doesn't fly the flour around. Okay, and then we're going to add 2 tablespoons melted shortening. We're going to add in the rest of the flour. Remember, start low and move it up as it combines. Okay, now it's all come together, but it's looking a little rough and shaggy. You want it to be smooth, but we don't want to overmix it, so we're just going to knead it with the dough hook until it is smooth. So that's a lot smoother. Pick up the ball, add a little bit of the leftover shortening to it to grease the bowl, and then set around in there. Okay, and then you want to roll the ball under until you form something smooth and put it in the bottom. I'm going to cover it with plastic wrap, and it's going to rise until it's double in size, about 2 hours. So put it somewhere where it's either room temperature or warm. Don't put it next to a cold window. You can do this just on the countertop. If you have stone, it's good on the countertop. If you have other material, be careful about cutting on the countertop. Use a cutting board instead. You want to flour your surface. And spread that around. You're going to need a rolling pin. So this had doubled in size. So just kind of gather it together. Okay. Put it down. Sometimes I flip it over, get the top of it floured. Just helps to get it on there. We're going to roll this 1/4 of an inch thick. Okay, and then just keep working with it. Don't just focus on one side or focus out and back in. And kind of start from the middle and push out. I think this is getting about right. Also, while you do this, you want to heat up oil to 370. Okay, so we are going to do some cute Mickey shapes with this. But if you don't have that, use a pizza cutter, and you would just cut about 2.5 inch square pieces. These don't have to be perfect. They can kind of be diamond shape or whatnot, rectangles, but do your best. But we're going to cut it into Mickey shapes. So I'm going to use this little basket. So we're going to put it in there. Make sure you have some tongs ready. And this will take just a couple of minutes. And so and be really careful when you're working with oil on a stove with an open flame. You don't want it to flip out. You don't want it to be too hot. If you do ever have a fire, turn off the burner right away, cover it, get baking soda out. Don't hurt yourself, so if it's too big to handle, get out. So I'm putting it on this platter. Have some powdered sugar ready, and we're going to sprinkle that over the top. We're going to just tap it. You want to add a lot. Like, the point of this is just to be covered in powdered sugar. And when you eat these, you have to be careful that you don't inhale the powdered sugar. So don't take a breath while you're taking your bite. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. These are the smaller ones. And then I like to flip them over and just keep flipping them until they look like they're done.